time now for Mano-A-Dano. The Grim Reaper, Stu Grimson, taking on Ken Daneyko, Mr. Devil. That's right, it's Mano-A-Dano rather than Mano-A-Mano. I don't know why I'm affecting this voice. Kind of sounds
Where does that voice come from?
Ring announcer voice here. Here we go. Let's check out the tail of the tape.
Pretty creative, man.
Man of 1,000 voices here, guys. All right.
This is a fun segment, I want to say, right?
You should hear us Vito Corleone.
We'll bring back the netminder. But in one corner, we have the Grim Reaper. 6'4", 240, 14 NHL seasons, over 2,000 career penalty minutes. You have Memphis law degree, smart man. And then we've got Mr. Devil, Ken Daneyko, 6'1", 215, 20 NHL seasons, over 2,500 penalty minutes, and the grad degree from the Hard Knocks Academy. Each had over 100-plus career NHL fights, although amazingly, these guys never fought each other, not in the same conference. That happened.
Hey,
yeah.
Time out here.
Go ahead.
I was a little crazy in my playing days, but smarter than that. I had my hands full in my division with Brown once in a while, and Domi when I was younger, and Joey Kosher and Berube.
Yeah.
Tocchet. That was enough for me. I didn't need to be going outside my division. I let Christoph Oliwa go after
Don't bring yourself down to my level. You were a player. I knew well enough to leave you alone. You had other fish to fry. You were a player.
I had no interest to go on, Stu.
All right, so 45 seconds each for these guys to make their picks as we have this heavyweight battle. The topics, if we please. We kick it off first off with Mano-A-Dano. A Canadian team will make the Stanley Cup final. No team has made the Stanley Cup final in a decade. Obviously, no team has won it since the Montreal Canadiens back in 1993. Stu, you first. You got 45 seconds on the clock.
And I will lead with this. Anything can happen. Dano, you would attest to this. It takes a little luck, and luck relates to how is this club playing, how does this club fare with respect to injuries and things like that. And there are a couple of really strong candidates in this true Northern Division, a.k.a. the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Winnipeg Jets. I think both of these clubs are dangerous enough up front that they can compete for and eventually get to one of the finalist spots with respect to our Stanley Cup finalists. The only thing that gives me pause about these Winnipeg Jets, really like them up front, really like their depth up front. They may be a little bit suspect on the blue line, but Connor Hellebuck is the kind of guy that can paper over some problems and really get you to a situation where you're competing for the NHL's top prize. So between those two clubs, there may be a finalist there.
You make some good points, Stu. However, I don't believe it will
Well, thanks.
happen.
I thought long and hard about that. I had a lot of investment in that point.
I don't see it happening this year, although the Toronto Maple Leafs are a much improved team on the back end and just overall defensively. So I'm kind of hedging my bet. They're an interesting story. I just don't think it's going to happen this year, making the final, and strictly because when I look at Colorado and I look at the defending champ Tampa Bay Lightning and when I look at the Vegas Golden Knights, and there's always, like Stu said, anything can happen. There's so many good teams. The Carolina Hurricanes, the surprise Florida Panthers. I can go on down the list, and I just feel that one of these teams is going all the way. It's going to be very difficult for a team out of the North in that Final Four to become a Stanley Cup champion this season. We will find out. Just don't think it's going to happen.
Well, as you guys know, oftentimes when it comes to fights, you get maybe a judge who's kind of, taking a few bucks. As a Canadian, I cannot vote with Dano because he's saying no. The judge rules, at least in this round. Stu, you're the winner, okay?
Okay.
One round.
Okay, we're off on the right foot. We're liking this Mano-A-Dano thing.
Dano, we're upset in Western Canada right now. Okay, let's move on. Who will win the Rocket Richard Trophy? Obviously, some good candidates out there. Kenny, you go first.
Well, I'm going with the guy that's gotten hot lately and the guy that scored 750-something plus goals in the National Hockey League, one of the most prolific goal scorers of all time. Yes, the great eight, Alexander Ovechkin, will continue to climb the ladder. I think, what is he, 4 back right now?
Yeah, I think so.
With 18. The great eight, Alexander Ovechkin, is going to keep piling on as far as the goals are concerned. He's hot, and when he starts to feel it, he is as dangerous as anybody. As we know, what a goal scorer, what a player. I say Alexander Ovechkin kind of leapfrogs those two guys at the end of the day and wins the Rocket.
By the way, Mikko Rantanen tied for first right now, so it's an interesting choice. A little off the radar. I kind of feel like I know Stu might go with Austin Matthews, but go ahead.
Well, I mean, if anybody could get me on the wrong side of this question, it would certainly be the grade 8, given all he's done over the course of his career. But for me, for my money, it's Austin Matthews, and I have been leaning in, waiting to see what kind of season Matthews is having, because really he has kind of revamped the way he prepares in the offseason for the season. He comes in leaner, a little more muscle mass. I think there's more on this lethal release of his, and I think really maybe not a half step faster, maybe a quarter step faster. There's just a little more in his game, and he had about a 15-ish game run where he was like a house ablaze. Austin Matthews was. I think there's room, there's space for him to catch fire again and perhaps add to that massive, impressive 22-goal total so far. So I like the favorite.
Excellent logic, but Matthews has slowed down, and we here, as a judge,
don't just split the difference. You don't have to give him.
We haven't forgot about Connor McDavid. He plays in this league.
This is very thick skin. You don't have to just give him one for the sake of
Dano's winning. It's a sentimental choice for Ovechkin. We're tied up at 1.
He puts pucks through goaltenders. One of the only players that can do that. Doesn't matter if they're in position.
Exactly. All right, next up here, which team is the best in the West? There's a couple of options here, naturally. Golden Knights, Avalanche, but you can take another team. Stu, go ahead. Who's the best in the West?
I like the Vegas Knights. Do I not? I like the Vegas Knights. Yeah, without question. I mean, I really think this is a very deep team. It is a veteran-laden team. It's a group that comes from a variety of different places, cobbled together over time, but has now been together for the most part, and we're talking about the core, has been together for the better part of 3 seasons, and I really like where this group is at. Marc-Andre Fleury, rock solid in net, and hey, guess what? If he falters, Robin Leonard, not a bad option. Not a bad option to go to. A really promising blue line. Looks like they're on the verge of adding Alex Pietrangelo back into the mix, and this is just a really lethal bunch up front. Stone, Pacioretty, Chandler Stevenson. Hey, if you've got Alex Tuch on your third line, clipping at 13 goals a year.
We hit the bell. All right,
that's it.
Alex Tuch. Did I mention Alex Tuch?
Go ahead, Dan.
Love the Vegas Golden Knights. Having said that, the Colorado Avalanche, after a subpar start, some injuries along the way, their shot differential, have you checked that out? I know shots aren't everything, but they have the puck on their stick. They have the puck almost all the game. They're so deep. Led by the big guns, McKinnon, Rantanen, Landeskog. We go on down the list, but I like how mobile their back end is. I mean, we talk about Makar and Byram, and they've been in and out of the lineup with some injuries and health issues at the time when they're healthy. But how about Samuel Girard, 26 points in 30
Underrated.
They have so much depth. We always question the goaltending going into the season. We thought they were the deepest, but he's having a Vezina Trophy type season. Grubauer, and if he keeps that up, the Colorado Avalanche are the best team.
Worry about fatigue for Grubauer, but this goes to Ken Daneyko. LG Red told me, go Avalanche, go. LG's in my ear. The judge is on the take.
Yes.
Dano's back on a run here, too.
Shoulders slump. Pointed word, his shoulders are slumping.
One more to go. Let's see if Stu can fight for a split decision. Will the Tampa Bay Lightning repeat as Stanley Cup champions? Dano, go ahead.
Well, this is very difficult. And I know how hard it is to repeat.
Sounds like some
champions.
indecision there. Sounds like
definitely hedging there.
I might sound like a politician here.
Yeah.
But I am going to say yes. I'm going to say the Tampa Bay Lightning can. I'm not guaranteeing, but I think they have a great opportunity to go back-to-back because they learned last year what it took. They're a hungry team. They haven't missed a step. And for me, 2 reasons. They have the best goaltender in the National Hockey League, a money guy that when the stakes are raised, he's a proven commodity. Oh, and let's not forget here, they're dominating right now in the National Hockey League and the division. I know Carolina's right there, but they have Kucherov coming back, one of the top 5 players in the world. They've been doing all this without him.
AV, I'd like to lead with the mathematical argument, which is to say, he's
always smarter than me, the lawyer.
He's put all his eggs in a single team's basket. He is saying yes to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Yeah. I'm saying there's a half a dozen. There may be 8 other teams out there who have also really good opportunity to compete for the NHL's prize. And the law of averages tells you it's really, really difficult to repeat. Again, I come back to an earlier point that I made. Injuries, trending in the wrong direction. Your goaltender takes a bad turn. A lot of things can go wrong, even for a club as talented as the Tampa Bay Lightning. Therefore, Therefore,
the answer is no, they will not repeat. And I hate to say this. Listen.
He's much more articulate than me.
Listen.
Tampa Bay Lightning is a heck of a club.
There's another word
but there
for
are
that.
8 other
Another word
teams
for that.
that can win.
I love the fact that Dano said he was being a politician, but he did not waver, gave his answer, but Stu Grimson wins. You have a split decision.
Okay.
I know people hate the split decision. But you know what? One last option here. Yeah, give us a press photo. Go ahead. No, give us, go ahead, come on. Give us a press photo. Put the Dukes up. There we go. Let's get that picture. Bam. One for the ages. If only they could fight. Stu Grimson can.
Let's not do that for real right now.
I was about to say, no.
He's younger than me.